Well, hey friends and neighbors, it's Chuck out at Sheridan Park Farms. Welcome back to the farm. Another beautiful, glorious spring day here on the farm in Western North Carolina. Moving day. Y'all saw on, I don't know which video it is now. I think it was maybe the last one, might have been the one before that. But anyway, we had our cows that had moved themselves because they were on our winter sacrifice pasture, which I don't know if y'all can see it. It's way back there in the corner, goes all the way back up the top of the hill. I was late getting my roll of hay and they decided they wanted to move. But anyway, they put themselves here. We put them in. They've been here now for about 24 hours and it's time to move again. This time of year, spring management, you've got to be careful. If you put your cows on your grass too soon and they eat it too short, it will stunt the growth for the rest of the year and you will end up, it's hot. You will end up being behind on your grazing for the rest of the season. So, what I have done, what you just saw me do, is we have put out a temporary fence to move these cows toward y'all where you're sitting on the camera, and we've given them another pretty good sized spot. I'm gonna spin the camera around here and just kind of orient you on where they are and the area that they're gonna have. They will be here for a day and we'll move them again. We're also gonna worm them today, and I'll go over that worming protocol with you here in just a few minutes. But let's, whenever we move the water. But let me show you where we're going, and then we'll see if they remember the whoo cow, and if they'll come up here and we'll come over to this new area. All right, I'm gonna see if I can do this without making y'all terribly, terribly dizzy. So, this is the area where the cows are now, and they were in the field just past that. You can see on the upper field up there, kind of brown looking. We'd started getting some growth and they were just keeping it eaten down. So it was time to get them off of it too. So that was another reason, another good result of them moving. So this is the area that they've been in. Starts right over here, right in front of the buggy. Goes down to about where they're standing. And then it goes over to this corner right in here, right in there, where the fence comes down the hill. And so what they've had, it's basically, it looks like a big slice of pie, So our new paddock that we just have got done building that y'all saw starts right there at that same corner. Let's see if I can point to it, kind of, sort of. Oh man, starts right in there, I guess. Goes up to just above where, just right adjacent to where our garden is there in front of the house. Comes over across the field in front of our meat chickens to that post right there, and that's where we're going to end up putting the drinker, and then the rest of it is our high tensile electric. Incidentally, high tensile electric, that's what we're powering all this off of, and we do have an energizer that's plugged into the wall up in the barn. Now, somebody's going to say, how big an area is that? How much space do you need to leave your cows? Well, like a lot of other things in life, it depends. It depends on how many animals you've got, how much they weigh, time of year. Grazing is, you know, the thing that I've learned now from 3 or 4 years of doing this, grazing absolutely is as much a art as it is a skill. You have to learn to watch your grass, look at your grass, and just know when it's time for those animals to move. And worst practice, put them in an area, leaving them forever. But if you put them in a spot and you see that they have grazed too long, the spot was too small, you had too many animals in that area, the nice thing about rotational grazing is on the next move, you can fix that. Give them a bigger spot, move them quicker. On the adverse, you put them in a spot, you move them too quick, they didn't eat enough. Next time, give them a smaller spot, leave them a little bit longer. It is just, it's a learned skill. You just have to practice it and practice it and practice it. And I, by no means, am not even close to being an expert on this, but I'm learning. And I think I'm getting a little bit better because last year we had plenty of, we had a few, you know, we had a little smaller herd, but last year we had plenty of grass. We never ran out. We had some dry times. We still had plenty of stockpile. So it just takes a little bit of practice. But to be able to sit down and pencil out this many cows that weigh this much, need this much space on this date, that's even impossible because it depends on the condition of your forage and your fields. If you've got a field where you've got plenty of fescue, that would end up being a different amount of time, different amount of space than if you have a field that is full of a lot of weeds and broom sedge and just junk that's not good forage for them. How we manage this field down here is probably going to end up being different than how we manage the fields above the road and how we manage the fields up above the house and the chicken processing barn. So grazing is just really about the only way to learn it is just to do it. Make mistakes, learn from your mistakes. Know that you're not gonna hurt anything because you can fix it. Nature is very forgiving in that if you graze an area too long, give it some rest and it will repair itself. So that's the nice thing about grazing. You really can't hurt anything unless you just put them on a spot and leave them forever and don't feed them any hay and they starve to death. You know, it's hard to fix that, but in this model, in this daily move, in this regular rotation, in this management intensive grazing, rotational grazing, whatever you want to call it, it's very forgiving, but it takes time to get it right, and I'm still learning. Angel, are you driving? Okay, I guess you're not even riding. All right, Joel will tell you to move about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and it's not quite 4 o'clock. We're a little ahead of that, but we're going to go ahead and see if we can move. Do we remember the whoo cow? Let's give them a call here a time or two and see if they remember what to do. Whoo cow! Woo cow! Woo cow! Woo cow! Well, a little challenging, but we got them. A little challenging, but we got them. All right, let's go get their drinker, and we'll bring it up here, plug it in, and we'll talk about our deworming protocol. Angel's a mighty fine riding buddy, but she's awful big and takes up a whole lot of space. All right, we'll go get her wormer before we plug it in, and I'll show y'all how this worming deal works. All right, let's talk a little bit about worming and how we worm our cattle. So we don't use chemical wormers here. We just ivermectin, we just, you know, permethrin, whatever they are, we don't use them. We just never have. We did some on pigs whenever when they were weaned, just because of the way that pigs eat. We did use some, but for the cows, we do not. Instead, we use this, and this is a product called Shakely Basic H. Now, I picked up on this in Salatin's book, Salad Bar Beef, and if you're grazing cattle and you don't have this book, I would recommend that you get it. I'll post a link down below, but I recommend that you get it. There's a lot of great information in here and a lot of questions that you may have that Joel will answer for you. This is to grazing cattle as his pasture poultry book is to pasture chickens. Basically, Shakely Basic H is a soap. It is a surfactant, meaning that it basically makes water wetter. It increases the surface tension of water, so that when the cows take it, it my understanding is it helps to lubricate the intestinal system and pass worms through. Now, this is safe. The only warning on this is avoid eye contact, and it's even okay for humans to consume some of this in small quantities. I don't, because I'm not wormy, but it's a very safe product. It's also been used in some of the dairy operations to increase butter fat, is my understanding. Joel talks about it in the book. The recommended dosage for this is about a cup to every 100 gallons of water. Now, our drinker is 110 gallons, but we don't fill it all the way to the top because of the way the float's set. So we're probably at about 100 gallons. So I've got a cup. I think this is about a 12 ounce. It's about a 12 ounce cup. So we're gonna fill this. We'll pour it into the drinker. We'll plug the drinker up so that it suds up. I'll show you all that it gets nice and sudsy and foamy and that kind of thing. And we'll do this for 2 days. I think the book recommends 1 day, but we'll do it for 2, maybe even 3, just to make sure that we got really good coverage. Again, it doesn't hurt anything. They're fine, doesn't bother them. But this is how we worm our cows, and it's time for us to do that. We've not done this in a while, so we'll put a cup of this in their drinker and see what happens. Now, can I do this without pouring it all over me and everything else around here? So we buy this in a 5-gallon bucket, and it has lasted us for a good while. I don't know if y'all can see that. I mean, it's just a clear liquid, and it's very thick, kind of like a dish detergent would be. So that's it. Well, between the time I left to go get their worming stuff and now they have come down, I guess they're thirsty. All right, babies, y'all watch out. You're all up in my jammy here. We don't need people in the jammy. All right, let's see here. I don't want y'all messing with that now. Not until I'm ready for you to have it. All right, a little water. Oh. All right, y'all back up, back, scoot. Everybody scoot. Scoot. Back up. You too, back up. That stuff's pretty thick. It sticks to the cup, sticks to the inside of the cup. Camera, I'll show y'all. No, maybe I won't. Watch out now. No, we're not ready, honey. We're not ready. It's still cooking. We're still mixing. This is what it looks like when it gets kind of mixed in there. It makes it kind of sudsy and foamy and that sort of thing. Now, yeah, we didn't get the drinker full. According to Joel, it is hard to, you really can't overdose them on it. So even if it is a little more concentrated right now than we would want to be, that's fine. We will do it a couple of days in a row, just to make sure that we get good coverage and everybody has plenty of opportunity to get a good dose of it. But yeah, they got kind of the milk mouth, look like they've been lathering up to shave or something there. But, Shakely's Basic H. I'll see if I can find a link for it. Honestly, I think I bought it on eBay last time, but I'll see if I can find a link for it where you can buy it. I think it is part of a multi-level marketing outfit. It's a product that, I don't know, like a Amway type thing or something. I'm not a distributor. I buy it wherever I can find it. And like I said, last time I think I got it on eBay, but I'll see if I can find a link. If I can, I'll put it in the description down below. But if you're looking for an alternative to chemical wormers, you know, what can it hurt to try? Just give it a try and see if it works for you. If in a couple of weeks you don't think it's doing any good, you can lay the ivermectin or whatever it is you pour on them and lay it to them and do it that way. But this is our management practice. This is our style. This is what we do. And seems to work pretty good. All right, there it is. Wormed, moved, fresh grass, all the good stuff that the cows need. And we're off and running for the spring. I'll go ahead and say it right now. I know I'm probably going to get beat up in the comments about, you know, voodoo and not managing animals right, not following conventional wisdom and all that kind of thing. And that's fine. This is how we choose to do it. And I am absolutely, positively not mad at anybody else for the way that they do stuff. It's all context. We're a small farm. We're not out here trying to turn, a 7-figure profit every year. We do try to be profitable and make a little bit of money, but we're not out here trying to feed a big operation and, keep a bunch of employees and all that kind of thing going. We're just a small mom and pop deal. This is just how we elect to do it. We think that it's, in our value system and what we think is important, we think that managing these animals as naturally and holistically as we can, that's our value. That's what we believe that, the good Lord intends for us to do, and that's what we try to do. And that doesn't, there's some of the things that conventional farms do that just don't fit for us. And we elect not to do it. We elect to rotationally graze and move animals and not use chemicals. And, that's just our, like I said, that's our value system and how we elect to do it. There are things that, we can and have learned from conventional farms, and we've talked to conventional farms that say that they've learned stuff from us. So I think there's room in this space for everybody. There's a whole lot of people to feed, a whole lot of opportunity out there. And if you're trying to feed people and raise animals right and care for the land, and this is how you want to do it, then I think there's opportunity there to do it. It's not easy. It does require daily moves, and it does require that we pay attention to our grass and we pay attention to the health of our animals, and we don't put things on autopilot, but that's what we choose to do. So anyway, if you've got a nasty comment, go ahead and drop it down below. I'll either pin it to the top as a Skinny Jean comment or ignore it. I mean, that's just what we'll do with it. So anyway, like we always say, please keep us in your prayers, and God bless you and your families. We'll see you on the next video. Thanks.